Hello to all the Celsians. Thanks for tuning in. Our third AMA, my third AMA, 2020, Vision 2020. So we're really excited. Over 600 questions came in. Really thank you for everybody for participating and getting involved and sharing your ideas and so on. So I'm gonna first go through the three big announcements, and then we're going to answer as many of the 600 questions as I can. I'll try to go real quick. Before I get started, we're still running the campaign for Australia, right? Wildfire relief. If you take a loan with Celsius, we automatically donate on your behalf $100 to the Australia Relief Fund. We already got dozens of loans from that, so thank you for the people that are helping out. And our thoughts and prayer are with the billion animals and that died over the last few weeks. So let's get started. All right. So first announcement. So we raised our platinum category to 35% bonus. So it used to be 30, now it's 35. We also raised the minimum requirements, so now you need to have 15% of your holdings in sell your AUM. So to be silver, it's 5% to 10%. To be gold is 10 to 15, and platinum is 15 or more. And it all starts on February 1st. If you're holding less than 5% in sell, you would still get the same in sell, but as in kind, right? So you would get, if the interest rate is 8%, you would still get the 8% without the bonus. The second announcement is that we're raising the first BTC. If your first BTC is going to be as high as 8.1%. So now if you're platinum status, you will earn 8.1%. And if you're not platinum, it will be regular, would be 6% on your first BTC. This is earning in sell only, right? So if you can earn in sell, you'll earn 6%. If you're silver, you'll be 6.6. If you're gold, you're going to be 7.2. And if you're platinum, again, very valuable being platinum, 8.1% on BTC, which is amazing for your first Bitcoin. So we're doing that to bring many, many more smaller depositors. Our commitment from day one was to bring 100 million people into crypto. And this is how we're going to make it a special event for anyone on the planet who's holding crypto. Again, this applies to all 25 coins in our wallet. I'm just talking about Bitcoin, but it applies to all the coins. So that's our second announcement. Okay, starting February 1st. Remember, all these things go live when the app updates. If you don't see it in your app, you have to refresh, make sure you download the new version, and it will kick in. So, the third announcement is that, what's the third announcement? We have a third announcement or no?
Alex, you're compounding our problems here.
So the third announcement is that we launched with Corbett. It's the largest exchange in Korea. And the oldest exchange. They, after meticulous analysis and due diligence and looking at us for over a year. I met them in Singapore and then in Hong Kong over a year ago. Chose to work with Celsius. They announced this in Korean, in all the major publication, and we're really excited to have them. They're a quality partner, so really excited to work with them. Kristen, what did you say?
I said you're compounding our problems. You have to remember all of the announcements on time.
Wait, you said compounding?
Yes.
Just kidding. You know, one more thing. The third announcement is, as of February 1st, everything is compounding. Everything. All 25 coins are compounding. Doesn't matter if you're in the US, if you're earning in sell or not in sell, everybody is now compounding. So, you know, that's what we're here for, right? Give you more, make your life better so you can deliver for your kids, for your family, and everybody else. All right, so let's go through the rest of the stuff. We have a lot to talk about. EOS, we just launched EOS loans. If you have any EOS, you can apply and get loans, the cheapest rates, right, as low as 3.5%. So 3.75, I think, if you pay in sell, right? You can pay your interest in sell and save another, what is it? 30%, I think, right? On your interest.
Correct.
So if you platinum or whatever. So just use that. I mean, when people use it for the first time, they go, wow, all of it worked. I'm so shocked. You know, everything Celsius promised actually works. Yes, it's been working for almost 2 years now, since we went live. Next.
Okay, so
Let's start with the questions. Yeah.
Jimmy is wondering what new tokens or coins we're planning on supporting, keeping an eye on for 2020.
Yeah, so we only add things to the wallet that we can earn yield on, and we have a section. If you look at your main menu in the wallet section, if you go all the way down, you will see the coins that are or tokens that are pending. As we create more opportunities for yield or earnings or staking coins, we add them to that section. We do take recommendation, but you have to think to yourself, if the coin does not earn yield organically through staking, or if it does not, we cannot lend it, meaning there's no demand for the coin, then we will not be adding it, and at least not anytime soon, into the wallet.
So Jimmy had a related question to that answer, which is how can it be that interest can go so low on the top 10 coins? Where are we at with?
Yeah, so interest, you have to look at interest as a scale, right? So usually what you will see is the interest on dollars goes up as the interest on Bitcoin goes down, and the other way around, right? And that's how the market fluctuates. Usually the whole market, the wholesale market, either wants dollars or wants Bitcoin. It almost never is together. So you've seen us raise the rate on stable coins, right? We have 11 stable coins that are earning in sell 10.1%, higher than anyone else is paying anywhere, right? Why? Because right now there's a lot of demand for dollars and stable coins, right? So you have to earn on that. And that tells you, by the way, that Bitcoin is probably going up, because when there is demand for stable coins, that means people want to buy on leverage, meaning they're pushing the prices of coins and altcoins up. When you see the price of Bitcoin go up, the interest on Bitcoin going up, as you remember, it was as high as 5, 6, 7%. That means that a lot of people are shorting or using it for market making, meaning there's pressure on the coin. So you can use the data inside the Celsius wallet to tell you where the market is going as well. We don't dictate the rates. The rates are dictated by the market. Our rates are indicative of the market behavior, where all of our competitors, you see them not changing their rate. It doesn't matter what's happening in the market, the rates are the same, which tells you something, right? So you want to know what the market is doing, watch the Celsius prices.
PJ is wondering, what do you think are the proper ways to determine the fair market value of sell?
So I can't really, again, this is not, all of my answers are not financial advice, and I'm here to try to share with you my knowledge, or at least my ideas of what I think about stuff. So don't take it as gospel. It's you have to do your own research. But sell token price has to do with adoption. So we just crossed 68,000 users, 40,000 Bitcoins deposited. We publish how many people are earning in sell. Right now, I think it's 38% of our users earn in sell. The HODL ratio is 82%. What does it mean, HODL ratio? It's the number of people that receive interest in sell and then keep it in the wallet. They don't sell the coins, right? The tokens. So the HODL ratio is very important. And we're publishing that. It's also, I want to shout out to Celsians.com, which is tracking all these things as well. So you can look at our numbers, you could look at their numbers, and based on all those things put together, you can decide for yourself if you think the project is doing well or the project is not doing well. But the sell price has to do with, just like the BTC price, has to do with how many people are buying versus how many people are selling every minute.
Okay, a question from Twitter. How do we plan on driving new users to our platform?
So we've done a lot of partnership. We're also going to announce a lot of them. We're going to have 2 big announcements every month. Just to mention a few, right, that are live right now. These are all people that are already using Celsius. You may not have heard about or didn't see our announcement, but Voyager, Amon, Uphold, Monarch, Infinito, right? Fireblocks, Litecoin, Coinland, Prime Trust, Corbit, right? Fireblocks, and so on. So a dozen or so partners. Again, we're going to be announcing 2 or 3 every month. And these are all people who are using our APIs, using our infrastructure to offer the Celsius services to their communities. So part of us growing is us reaching out to new users, and I'll talk about that in a bit, about all the promo codes and referrals and self-pay, but also using a lot of partners to offer more, which will convince people to join, right? They have to bridge, they have to come over. Like I'm a big believer that stable coins are the easiest way to bring people. Much easier to convince somebody, your grandma or your mother or your neighbor, to buy a stable coin and earn 8%, where the bank pays them 1%, versus convincing them that Bitcoin is not a scam, or Bitcoin is a doomsday insurance, or the world is coming to an end, or whatever.
What are the future goals of Celsius? Asks Dave.
So our goals are the same as they've been from the beginning. We want to give the world community a way to earn interest. We want to use that vehicle, use the earning interest as a mechanism to bring 100 million people into crypto, which will drive prices of crypto to new highs. Driving prices to new highs will enable a lot of people to achieve their dreams, and they will bring more people in, and we will see billions of people using cryptocurrencies in the next 10 to 20 years. So these are our goals.
Okay, Zach asks, how large is the crypto lending market? Is there any risk of rates being diluted as Celsius's AUM grows?
So we only land inside the crypto market, but we said from the beginning that we will be earning yield from a variety of different sources, which include non-crypto related earning, meaning if we have assets and we can deploy them and earn single-digit or double-digit rates in other markets outside of crypto, we will do that as well. So our job is to earn yield for our community, for our users, and we plan to do it in many, many different ways, just like Wall Street does for the very rich, right? All we're doing is stealing the best ideas from Wall Street and delivering them to all of you, giving you 80% of what we make or more.
Are we going to burn Cell in 2020?
So we, when we did the ICO, we announced that we're going to burn Cell for the non-sold tokens, I think. We burned, I think, 5 million Cell. We have tokens that were allocated to consultants, advisors, and so on, which have not been distributed. If those are not distributed, they will be burned. So yes, there is a chance that few million Cell tokens will be burned, but right now we don't know what those numbers are.
Hi Alex, are customers from the USA getting Form 1099 for 2019 taxes?
So customers are getting 1099. We actually partnered with a great company. I think we're announcing next week.
Next week.
That's one of the announcements coming next week. So tune in and you'll be able to download your form and you'll be thanking us for taking care of all the tax issues that you have. So trying to automate all of that for you. So great partner, we integrated with them. So, I need the 1099 too, believe me. So
okay.
I have to pay my taxes. I might have to even sell a few Cell for that.
How do you think you can sustain this business model when banks can offer interest rates as low as 1%? In addition, if your borrowers are people rejected from the banks, won't that affect the long-term business?
Yeah, so you have to remember that banks are not your friends, right? And when the bank pays you 1%, it doesn't mean they earn 1%. JP Morgan just announced their record of records of earnings, right? So now they earn something like 36 billion a year. The reason they earn 36 billion a year is because they give you nothing back. They take all that profit and give it to the employees and the shareholders. Nothing goes back to the depositors. So you can't compare what we pay to what the banks pay. You have to compare what we pay to what the banks earn. And most banks earn 15 to 17%, right? And they give you nothing. We earn less than 15 or 17. We don't do fractional reserves, which is very risky. We don't do crazy lending, right? We only do asset-backed lending and so on and so on. So we earn high single digits. We distribute 80% of that on average, right? Most of 2019, we distributed more, probably more closer to like 90% of what we make. And these are the numbers you have to compare. Now, one more question I'll just ask on behalf of users, because people ask me all the time. They say, well, how can it be that you're charging 4% to borrow Bitcoin? Because we publish that on CMC. If you go to CMC and look at the rates that Celsius publishes, these are the rates we charge to borrow, for people to borrow Celsius Bitcoin from us. How can you pay 8% on stablecoins if you're only earning 4% or 3% or 5% on other stuff? So you have to remember that when we issue a loan and we charge you, or on a loan we charge you, let's say 5% or 7%, right? We get 2 times Bitcoin, right? So we earn 4 times 2 because we lend it twice effectively, right? We have 2 Bitcoins, so we lend the first Bitcoin at 4%, the second Bitcoin at 4%, but we gave you a loan only worth 1 Bitcoin. So we make 8% on the Bitcoin, 4 plus 4, and then we make whatever we charge you, 5 or 7 or 9%. Altogether, that is more than what we are paying. It's actually exactly 80% of what we're paying out. So, or 120% of what we're paying out, 80% of what we're collecting. So the math is very simple. A lot of people have confusion about that. How can it be, and so on and so on. I can assure you the math works.
How many years have you been in tech?
How many years have I been in tech? My God, my first tech startup was when I was 16. I built electronic devices for people. They basically told me what they wanted, like lighting systems for what do you call it? For music clubs. I built receivers to receive unique frequencies, all kind of stuff like that. When I was 16, designed stuff myself, built the circuit myself, and then I did the military, and then I did 8 startups. Celsius number 8. All of them were tech startups. The previous company before this, I was CEO of Novotel Wireless. We launched the first 5G device in the United States for Verizon, the MiFi 1000, first 5G device in the United States. So cutting, bleeding edge technology. So I'm very comfy in that zone. So we're going to be adding a lot of tech stuff. You'll see it. It's coming. Working on it. We have a lot of techie guys working on techie stuff. DeFi and other stuff. Yes.
Kendrick wonders, how long do we expect our competitors to maintain high interest rates while not necessarily being a profitable company?
So our competitors are, I brought I brought something to show you. So when you look at our competitors, they all look like this, right? They all want to be a unicorn. They promise their investors all this stuff, how are they going to make them money? But really, they're not so fun. They're not acting in your best interest, right? So you just have to remember who's here acting in your best interest and who's here to just eventually steal money from you. Look at their investors. One of them claims to be a bank. One of them has banks invested in them. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think if Celsius does not exist? All these guys used to charge you 18 to 24% before Celsius showed up, right? Celsius forced everyone to cut their rates by 2/3 on what they charge you to borrow. So facts speak for themselves. So when you make a deposit, you have to decide. Every deposit, you decide if Celsius is successful or a competitor is successful. Every time you take a loan, you decide if Celsius and its community are successful or competitors are successful. And that's why we're all in trouble, because we all give our money for free to banks, and the banks are taking advantage of us. They're stealing from us every day, So just because they're putting a teaser rate in front of you and they're going to keep it going just as long as they get rid of all the competition, doesn't mean they're acting in your best interest.
Otto says, Celsius is on the road to become the #1 app in DeFi. Which other blockchain startup companies outside of DeFi do you see having an interesting future?
So there's a lot of great projects. The problem is that there's so many bad projects, is that we lost the trust with the community. We have to convince people again and again. People call us and say, wow, I took a loan and it actually worked. Wow, I deposited and I get paid interest. Because so many projects are just not delivering or over-promising, that what we need to do is really deliver, right? The crypto community, the blockchain community has to deliver for us to really win over the next 100 million people. And so there's a lot of good projects. And I like EOS, I like Algorand, I like a bunch of different things, but they don't have enough users, right? It's like a beautiful highway that we built and no one showed up. No cars, no trucks, no motorcycles, right? What do you think is going to happen? How long that the highway is going to be open for?
Can you explain where the 5% interest for the CEL token is generated?
So the CEL, we use CEL effectively as a treasury, right? So we have several hundred million CEL in treasury, and currently we are paying for CEL earnings from our earnings. But we in the future we plan to start also using our treasury for payment. So currently, effectively, when you buy CEL and you hold it, you're helping Celsius by basically providing that capital. So Celsius cost of capital is around 5%. So we're basically saying, should we go and borrow and give somebody else 5%, or should we pay 5% to our CEL token holders, right? So it's cheaper and better for us to give that to CEL token holders. Like I said, 82% HODL ratio. So all the people who are holding CEL are enabling us to use our own currency to grow the company, to pay our bills, to scale what we're doing, and so on.
Tom wonders, what are your thoughts on an integration with hardware wallets?
We're working on several integration. We're going to be announcing them soon. Again, love hardware wallets. You're going to be surprised at how we're doing that. We're going to, again, look, I have 50 patents, right? They're all published on uspto.gov. You can put my name and look at all of them, or go to mashinsky.com. You'll see all the patents. Most of them are revolutionary patents that invented a new industry. So I'm promising you that we're inventing a new DeFi industry, right? We can't announce it yet, but you will not be disappointed when we announce it.
Sorry, I lost it. Okay.
Kristen
Tim
is having problems with the 600 questions. How many people are online right now?
Oh, let's
345.
345. Thank you for joining.
Oh boy.
All right.
Tim from Berlin is a big fan and
Tim
wants to know if we will have a gold-backed stable coin that users could borrow instead of a dollar-backed.
Yes, so we are. It's pending in the wallet right now. What's the symbol for it? Pax Gold. So when when it's available, you'll be able to buy it from Pax. It's gonna perform. It's gonna be pegged to the gold's price of gold, and hopefully earn interest on top of that. So we're just working out all the details, but we hope to add other ones. Pax is a great company, so it was easy for us to decide to work with them on their Pax Gold. Obviously, we also support their Pax stablecoins.
Okay, do we have a timeline for getting approval to offer loans in states that we currently can't lend in?
Working on all of that. Again, it's not just states, it's also countries. So the world is a big place, and it's a priority, right? Right now, our team is about 65 people, so we can only do so much. When you're looking at how many releases we have and how many new things we have, testing, responding over the weekend, right? Bug releases, making sure there's no hacks, like the 2FA issues and so on. All these things consume our resources, and that's why we can't just do everything, but loans are a very important thing. And there are other ways, like if you're a corporation, the laws apply differently. So don't decide that you can't take a loan. Just reach out. We have great customer service, and ask them, this is my situation. Can I take a loan? Can you help me? And we will work with you to try to find a solution. We also have partners in many cases that will do these loans with us. So if we can't do it, we'll refer you to someone that can do it, and so on.
We have a few questions asking if we're trying to get CEL listed on exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, Bitrue.
Right. So listings are very important. Obviously, I want to get as many listings as possible. We said no to several major exchanges because they just want to charge too much money, $500,000 or more. and I rather pay you that money in interest than just be listed on one more exchange. So remember, the 68,000 people using Celsius, the over 120,000 that downloaded the app are mostly hodlers, right? These are all people that are not trading every day. They just want to earn yield. So for us to spend this kind of money to list on an exchange is really catering to the traders, to the speculators, rather the hodlers. So yes, we're going to add them, but we're going to add them on our terms when we can negotiate better terms with these exchanges.
Okay, Mark is a little skeptical, and he wants to know how you can prove to depositors that you're not running a Ponzi scheme.
Right, so all Marks are skeptical. So I think it's, Zacks and Marks, I think. No?
It's true.
Just kidding. So look, we are going through like an audit right now. We will be publishing our financials. We're also hiring an outside fund manager. If you guys don't know what that is, it's an outside firm that verifies that you have the assets that you claim that you have, and they're deployed the way you're supposed to do them, and so on and so on. So big Wall Street firms have that. No one in crypto has that. At least I don't know anyone who has that. So we will be doing all these things. Again, all these things cost money. So it's just a question of when and how and so on. But I hear you, and I agree with you that you should be concerned because there are too many scams, too many problems in crypto. So full transparency. I think Celsius is more transparent than anybody else. Some of our competitors are keep being asked questions and they just ignore the questions. No. And some of our competitors, by the way, legal documents have been issued about them. I'm not going to name names to not get in trouble, but legal documents have been issued by countries saying, hey, this company is not allowed to operate. What they're doing is not legal. So we are fully compliant with everything we know. We have a full compliance department, several people who just make sure that everything we do is legal. All the loans we issue are legal. And, again, we're only paying what we earn. Unlike most of our competitors. I can tell you, most of our competitors are not earning, I don't know anyone actually that competes with us that earns what they claim to pay out. Celsius is on track to be profitable in March. We will publish those numbers, we'll publish all the details, and the only way we're profitable is because we earn more than we pay, and we pay, again, 80 to 90% of what we make, so just do the math. We published the numbers, we paid almost $9 million in interest to date. That's more than all the other guys, right? Nexo published their numbers, I think $3.5 million. They stated that they paid more interest than anybody else. I'm laughing at that. We paid 3 times more than Nexo, and so on and so on. So just do your math, do your homework. Numbers speak for themselves. If you want to audit it, again, go to Celsius.com. They list, their data comes from the blockchain, not from anything we give them. All their data comes from the blockchain. So we published our BitGo numbers, right? We published our Fireblocks numbers. So all these things are because we want to show you that we're actually doing and acting in your best interest.
A different Mark wonders what's the reason behind the changes to the loyalty program and how do we think it will affect Celsius Network?
So we want to drive demand and increasing the levels. So again, if you had no sell, you earned I think it was 5%, right? But now you have to earn. Now you have to have at least 5% in AUM to earn silver, right? To have that level. You have to have 15% to earn platinum. So these things all drive demand and help the other people who are participating in the network. So our job is to raise these things. We're going to continue raising them, maybe once a year or so. Raise the levels to basically enable the people who are actually our biggest fans, who are voting with their wallets to earn the most.
Okay, Hikaya has a 17-year-old daughter who has Bitcoin but is unable to use our app due to age restrictions. Do we have any comments on that?
So if you're her a parent, you can open an account and let her use it or act on her behalf. I think that's probably the best way. It's legal reasons why we cannot go lower in age. So it's not like we're blocking or don't trust young people, So I'm on TikTok for all the young people who want to see me jump around.
Another question from Twitter. Could Celsius Wallet be sectioned into two? So you have the HODL section and the spend section, like a savings and checking.
Yes. So we are working on spend programs. Right now we are a HODL community, right? There was no place for hodlers to get together. And if you are a serious hodler, you should get your hodler shirt. Okay, to get it, you have to do something special. We'll be announcing later on how you get these. But I think right now we're focused on earning interest, and then we will enable things that help you with your life. I have 6 kids at home. They are great spenders. They get an A+ for spending. I'm trying to teach them how to earn first and then how to spend responsibly. And the tools we're going to provide are things that enable you to spend responsibly, which is stuff that young people have trouble with.
Does Celsius work with concept level startups?
So right now we're focused on growth. So unless you're providing a solution like a 1099 or something else we need, chances are that we won't have time, we won't have the resources to integrate with you. So we are focused on partnering with people who are bigger than us. Almost every one of those names I mentioned to you has more users, operates in broader than Celsius, operates in markets where we don't have access. So right now we're focused on those things, but if you have something unique to offer, you can email me and I'll take a look at it. alex@mashinsky.com. If you can spell my last name.
Lon is wondering, what's your advice for a new person investing in crypto?
If you're a new person investing in crypto, I think now is actually a great time to get in because the happening, I think we kind of washed out all the speculators who were just here for the short term. And what I would do is there's I think there's an app called iBillionaire that allows you to basically automatically invest $10 or $20 or $50 every week or every month, whatever you decide. And it does it automatically out of your bank account. So you don't have to watch the market, you don't have to decide, and they can buy Ether or Bitcoin or whatever you want. And this way you can create like a quasi portfolio that will track the market for you without you having to take any action. Because the things that ruins it for all of us is when we look at the price and the price is running up and we feel like, oh my God, I have to buy right now. But when the price is going down, which is exactly when we're supposed to be buying to average down, we don't do that. So what this does is automates the process for you, and I recommend it to many people. I use it.
Harry wonders how you convince someone to start earning interest with Celsius when there's little to no regulation in the space.
So look, the most important thing is, do you believe that we're acting in your best interest? Right? Do you believe that we're here to create an institution that is representing the depositors, or do you think we're here to charge you fees, right? The problem with almost everybody in the crypto community, they're all toll collectors. They're all exceptional at charging fees. One of our competitors published as big news that for a limited time, they're not going to be charging fees. Well, guess what? For 2 years, we have not charged any fee to any of the 68,000 people who are using us every day, right? I challenge you to find a single Celsian who will say, Celsius charged me a fee. So we structured the whole thing as a complete opposite of what everybody else is doing. Why? Because this community is not going to grow if all we created is a replacement for the banks that looks, behaves, and acts just like the banks. So we're here to help the average Joe. We're paying at least 80% of what we make, and just test it out. Buy a few stable coins, deposit them, check your interest, watch our statement, look at our announcement, look at all the numbers we publish, and then you can decide if we're acting in your best interest or not.
David is asking when he will be able to withdraw his interest first.
So interest first, we did promise it, and we stated we're going to do it, but we replaced it with these 3 things we just announced, right? These 3 big announcements. So the reason we're not doing interest first is not a lot of people saying, oh, Celsius is trying to steal from me, whatever. I'll give you an example, just one example. In Germany, if you earn interest and you keep that for at least 1 year, if I'm saying it correctly, again, I don't know German law perfectly, but you don't pay income tax on that 1 year gains, right? If you kept it for more than a year. So if I let you withdraw interest first, it automatically triggers your tax issues. So there's all these things where actually, just as people ask us, hey, can I withdraw interest first? There's a lot of people say, make sure I don't touch my interest, right? So if you want to withdraw interest, you can always do that. You can always withdraw first. Again, it costs us money, cost us more when you withdraw coins, right? We pay transport fees, we pay withdrawal fees. You don't pay anything. So we subsidize all of that. And again, all that is to act in your best interest. So between the compounding interest and the higher rates and paying you more than anybody else in sell, just say thanks.
Another question from Twitter: what's the risk that Celsius can default? Is it the same as any other company?
We are a corporation. There is a risk of default. I can't tell you there's no risk. We are for profit. We are operating as a profitable entity. We have to be profitable. We can't just, it's not like we have a fountain of money that we're dipping into. So yes, there are risks. Again, that's why we try to be fully transparent. That's why we tell you. I think as long as you see deposits growing, as long as you see us earning more, paying more, and again, as long as we are profitable, hopefully starting March this year, those are indicators that tell you that we're a viable company and so on and so on. But there's always risk of BitGo getting hacked or any of our other custodians. There are risks, and you wake up in the morning, there are risks. So you have to decide if the interest you're earning is enough for those risks, right? A lot of people say, hey, I'd rather keep all my coins on my wallet. I don't want to take any risks. And if you want to earn interest, we have to take all these actions that represent risk.
What is the ETA for a browser interface?
Currently, we're now working on a browser interface. I know some people are asking for it. Again, some of our competitors have it. If you prefer a browser, some of our partners have it. So if you don't want to use Celsius, that we have partners who have a web interface, and you can use them and still earn interest. I think Voyager has a web interface, right? And a few others. Corbit has a web interface. So it's the same interest, right? Just you have to, and I mentioned all of them before. They're also listed on our website. So same interest, same rate, acting in your best interest.
Dave is wondering when the debit credit card will come out, if we're planning it.
Yeah, so debit and credit, I have a lot of credit cards in my wallet, right? Each one of my kids have a credit card. We actually have, I'll block the number so you don't hack me, but we have a working Celsius credit card.
Oh my God.
Okay? But the problem is that currently I don't launch anything that is not much better than what anybody else has. So we cannot launch a payment system. I don't want to call it a credit card because we're focused on a payment system that acts in your best interest, that looks like magic. And again, we have a solution. We're working on it. We have a technical thing that you will be like, how come no one else thought about this? This is so obvious. It's so easy. Wow, I can't believe Celsius came up with that first. Okay, it's going to be a wow moment for sure. But we have to make it work while we're fixing and working and scaling everything else. So we will have a payment system, a payment solution, and I promise you, you will be wowed when you use it. Can't say more.
When are we going?
My team will kill me if I do. They're sitting here. They already have the knife.
I'm trying to move on. Tony wonders, when will we be able to open up the ability to buy stable coins directly from Celsius Network?
Yes, I'm sure Kristen doesn't, and Wasim don't want me to tell you, but purchase of coins in-app in the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Mid-February.
By the end of
Mid-February,
February.
worst case, end of February. You'll be able to buy coins inside the app with your credit card.
Any plans to expand services to Africa?
Big plans in Africa. We were talking a little bit about it during our ICO. We had to wait for all the African countries to get their act together. But yes, I love Africa and have a lot of stories from Africa. So yes, we will have a solution there. By the way, I forgot to say I'm very lucky. Did you guys know that I'm
You're
a lucky
lucky?
guy?
I didn't know you were lucky.
Yeah. I'm a lucky guy. Where's my here? So Lucky brand jeans. Actually, I have to wear Lucky jeans.
We
all
can't
the
see your
time.
legs, so you have to kick up really high. No, it's okay.
So Lucky made me a brand ambassador. Thank you very much, Lucky. Sent me a bunch of jeans, and I'm only wearing Lucky brand jeans. So and I found in my jeans this little note that said, "Don't forget to be awesome." So I'm trying my best. Don't forget to be awesome. Thank you. All right. Also announcing, we have now over 200 institutions transacting with us. Again, more than anybody else. So when all these questions arise, how are you earning? Are you really earning? And so on and so on. Ask any of these institutions, are they working with any of our competitors? Ask them, are you working with Crypto.com? The answer will be no. We've never worked with Crypto.com, right? So you have to worry about where the other guys are earning their money. If they're not working with any of the institutions and they're supposedly lending Bitcoins or Ethereum or whatever to institutions, who is borrowing all those coins? Or where are they paying all that stuff? So, enough said.
Ready?
Yeah.
So maybe you can explain the loan a little bit more. Thomas is asking, how does it work with the high volatility? I want cash against Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's at 8,000. What if it goes up to 50,000? Do I have to pay you back 50,000? That would be the worst deal on the planet.
Of course, yes. So all the loans are dollar-based. So there's never a scenario where you own more than the loan amount you borrowed plus the interest, right? So think about it this way. Let's say we don't charge 10% interest, but just to make things simple, you borrowed $1,000 and you agreed to pay 10% interest, right? That would be $100. At the end of the year, the max you can own under all circumstances is $1,100. Doesn't matter if Bitcoin went up or went down or whatever, right? So your dollar value never changes of what you borrow. You can cancel after 6 months. We don't charge penalties. We don't charge anything, right? It's just, you'll pay half of the interest, $500 instead of, or $50 instead of $100, right? So we are extremely accommodating. Again, try to find negative comments about Celsius anywhere. People say, oh, Celsius didn't pay me my interest, Celsius didn't overcharge me for the loans. I can tell you there's a lot of bad comments about our competitors, about how they charge fees, unknown fees, hidden fees, withdrawal fees, you name it, right? Fees upon fees upon fees. Again, no one has ever paid any fees on Celsius. Interest, yes, no fees. So you borrow against your Bitcoin, we only lend you up to 50%. So Bitcoin can move up and down, nothing happens, right? Only if Bitcoin crashes, then you have to give us a little bit more coins or give us some of the money back, right? To cover the margin call on the loan. We don't automatically liquidate. We're not DeFi. DeFi liquidates you and takes 16% of your money as a penalty. We don't do any of that stuff. You get a notice. You get time to cure. You can use other assets. You can liquidate. You can tell us to sell some of the Bitcoin. You can send us money back. There's like 3 or 4 different ways to cure a loan that has a margin call, right? Why? Because we acting in your best interest. If we screw you on your first loan, are you ever going to take a loan from us again? We want you to bring 100 of your friends. How are you going to bring your friends if your experience isn't phenomenal? So anyone who's watching this, if your experience is not phenomenal, you let me know and I'll fix it, okay? Because that's the mantra of Celsius.
So we have a couple people that joined late and want a recap of the announcements we made at the beginning.
Recap of the announcements, and now we already did our little toy thing, but new loyalty tiers: silver is 5 to 10%, gold is 10 to 15, platinum is 15 plus, meaning these are the assets you have to hold in Cell tokens. And the new platinum, if you're holding 15% of your assets in Cell, you get 35% bonus. As an example, 8.1% on your first Bitcoin, right? So we announced this new program in Cell. This is only earning in Cell. On your first Bitcoin, 6% if you're just a regular user, 6.6% if you're silver, 7.2 if you're gold, 8.1 if you're platinum. Again, this is going to be live on our website. You can see all the details, terms and conditions, no hidden stuff, but it's only on your first Bitcoin. The idea is to give as many users as possible access to, and again, it's February 1st, starting February 1st, but give as many of people from all over the world who don't have 100 Bitcoins the opportunity to earn more actually than the rich guys, right? Putting the little guy first. Corbett, named Celsius, preferred interest income provider, and we love working with them. They're one of the oldest and biggest exchanges in Korea. Great brand. Thank you for selecting us. And also, you can now take loans on EOS. So if you need a $1,500 loan or more, deposit your EOS. You can instantly borrow stable coins or dollars, and it's same-day transaction. Poof, like that, right? Try it out. And the most important announcement is compounding on all coins, including everybody who's even not earning in sell, right? If you're earning in kind, starting February 1st.
Okay.
Full recap. I'm out of, I'm huffing and
There's
puffing.
nothing left.
Yes. But wait, there is something left.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I found my sheets, my cheat sheets. So we are working very closely with CMC, answering all their questions, and we should be listed on CMC in the next, it's up to them, so I can't tell you exactly when, but in the next few weeks on CMC, and we should be ranked somewhere between 70 and 75 in the top 100, right? If I just look at the ranking today and where are we supposed to hit it. So a lot of people were asking this question, and we should probably create a new t-shirt that says Celsius on CMC. No?
I don't know if Lucky will sponsor you anymore.
Yes. I am lucky. Next.
All right. What is the status of our partnership with Uphold?
Uphold is a great company. I got to spend time several times with their CEO and Simon and other people there. Great team. Love what they're doing. We want to add all of the currency capabilities they have, right? We don't offer any of that stuff, so we're going to do tight integration, and we just need to do it in steps. So first step is just to be in the wallet, and then we will be offering deeper and deeper integration with those guys. But great company, use the wallet, try us out. You can buy your coins there, right, and transfer them over and earn yield. Can't recommend them any high, better. They're a great partner. They're in the US, they're regulated, so you can trust them with your transactions.
Okay. I understand with Celsius that if you make withdrawals, it affects your interest rate on deposit. So maybe clarify that. And then they're asking again about the interest.
Affects your interest rate on deposit?
So it's incorrect. So let's clarify that.
If you are withdrawing, it does not affect your interest rate. If you withdraw sell tokens and you move from platinum to gold, yes, it will affect your earning in sell. But how much you have does not, we don't have ratios where, okay, if you're very rich, like the banks, right? If you're very rich, you get a special rate. But if you're poor, you get almost nothing. We don't have that. If you have $10 with Celsius or $10 million, you earn exactly the same rate. And if you withdrew half of it, you'll earn half of it. Okay, it's pro rata. By the way, there was a question of how much I hold. I hold more than $10 million worth of coins on Celsius. So I'm one of the biggest holders, but not the biggest, not even number 2. And these include sell tokens and Bitcoin and Ethereum and so on. And I do sometimes sell, for example, sell token. I earn a lot of interest, obviously. And sometimes I sell those tokens, sometimes I buy tokens. But, I think everybody, like, I have to pay taxes, I have to pay bills. We don't feel like, oh my God, somebody sell tokens, they're horrible for people, right? We understand that people have to live their lives, and we're here to support you. If you're earning interest and you want to sell that interest to pay bills and things like that, that is a perfect use for sell token.
Someone's asking, you mentioned Prime Trust earlier. What are they and what do they do with Celsius?
Yeah, so Prime Trust is an excellent custodian. They're a trust company in Nevada. So because they have reciprocal relationship with New York State, we're using them as our custodian for New York State customers. So we are launching deposit or interest income on Bitcoin in New York. We're using Prime Trust as our New York State custodian, licensed custodian, because Bitcoin I don't think is licensed yet in New York State, so we couldn't use them for deposits. So now, because we publicly stated that all deposits go to Bitcoin, which is true, but now if you're a New York State resident and you're depositing Bitcoin, all that Bitcoin goes to Prime Trust and not to Bitcoin. That's the only exception. And again, Prime Trust is used by Binance, by a lot of very large companies. I think Kraken is using them. So we love those guys, and love to work with them, and great partners to have.
What is your long-term vision of the industry that we work in?
Long-term vision. So look, there are few scenarios. There is the doomsday scenario, right? The United States can't sell the debt anymore. No one wants dollars. Everybody tries to get through this little door to a non-correlated asset called Bitcoin. And price of Bitcoin goes to 100,000 in a few days, right? That's kind of like what may happen, right? Because all the US government does and the Fed does is borrow from the future. When we print money, all we're doing is borrowing from our children and grandchildren. So it's great. The economy is amazing. When you borrow money constantly from your kids and your grandkids and you pump the market, right? The stock market and the bond market and the real estate market, everything is wonderful. And everybody can get reelected and everybody's doing great, but we're not paying our bills, right? So that's kind of like the doomsday scenario. And that's been the main use case for Bitcoin, unfortunately. Only one use case, right? What we're trying to do with Celsius is create the second use case. And the second use case is interest for everybody. Because the banks don't pay interest, financial institutions don't pay interest, the Fed lowers interest rate all the time. All that stuff is bad for you, the saver, right? If you're trying to save money, this is where you fail. So Celsius comes up with a solution that earns more or less the same like financial institutions or banks, but unlike the banks that keep all that money or give it to the shareholders, we take most of that money and give it to the depositors. No one has done that in 700 years of banking. There's never been a company that was crazy enough to take 80% of their income and give it to their depositors, give it to the people who gave them the money. So we think that use case is much bigger than the doomsday use case. It's much bigger. It applies to 7.5 billion people on the planet. There isn't a single person on this planet who doesn't want to earn more on their money. And that's what we're trying to solve. So if we're right, stable coins, cryptocurrencies are going to be the platform with which we deliver all of this income to these 7.5 billion people.
Justin wants to know what restricts Celsius from entering the healthcare space.
Healthcare. I'm going mad already, so yeah, I might need that myself. No, look, we cannot fix everything, okay? So today we're only fixing your financial health, but not your health, okay? We're going to leave that to the professionals. And
it's probably a correlation, though.
Yes, if you can't help you there. Sorry.
Sergio wants to know if we plan on expanding in Latin America.
Expanding in Latin America, yeah. We are looking for partners in every country in South America. I'm actually going to be speaking in Panama. I'm speaking in Mexico City. All of those things are available on our website under the events tab when Wasim actually gets it up there. But I'm practicing my Spanish and my Portuguese. Fala português. He's from Brazil or Argentina? Where is it from?
He did not say where he's
from.
from.
Anyway.
Johnny wants to know what
are
our key strategies for 2020 to get more people to move away from traditional banking to Celsius.
Yeah, so the main issue with traditional banking is convincing people that you're safe, that you're earning this yield in a real way, meaning that they can audit you or verify all that stuff. Half the questions were about that. So we need to finish all that transparency stuff, put it all on the blockchain, show people that yes, you can earn 8% on stable coins because we're paying you most of what we make. And those are the things that I think will convince people. And then all of you, so the ask, I have an ask for all of you guys, right? We created amazing tools inside the app that you can use to bring your friends over. SellPay is an amazing tool. You can send anybody, all these people that never tried crypto, you can send them $10, $20 stablecoin, for example. I recommend stablecoin because when you send somebody $10 in stablecoin and they see that interest, and it automatically opens a wallet for them just like Venmo, and they can then see that, right? They get that email the first time, the second time, the third time, they go, wow, this thing really works. Let me put some of my money there, right? So I'm asking all of you to use SellPay, to use the promo codes that you have. If you go to a profile in the phone, you can actually use the numbers in your phone to promote this, and you earn $10 every time somebody signs up. I already made a few $100s myself, right? So on the main menu, if you look at the main menu, right, and you go to profile, and you can see here, right, refer your friends, and you have a link, and you have a code, and you just put that in, you tweet it, you send it to your friends, I put it on Facebook and other places, and whenever your friend signs up, you get $10, they get $10, right? So Celsians.com, that's how they're generating revenues, right? So they created this amazing website that explains everything, and they have a promo code right there that they got from their app that helps them make money. So we love that kind of stuff, right? So we look for all of you guys to promote, including these loans and programs. We're going to be publishing different codes that you can earn. I think Kristen has a code for us right now.
For
right?
today.
Oh, right. We promised first 50. That's the code, first 50. So the first 50 people to send us what?
So you enter...
Deposit. You have to deposit $500. First 50 people to deposit $500 will get $50 in BTC. But only the first 50. And if you missed this, go to Liquid. We're doing another promotion, 888 Cell tokens, right? Especially if it's Chinese New Year, you love 888. You can earn that if you open an account on Liquid and you transact in Cell, right? You have to
They're
do one
giving
trade.
away to a trader, so it's
right,
random.
so you have to trade at least one Cell, and you'll be entered into that raffle as well. It will be locked for 30 days. You have to lock that $500 for 30 days, but it's 50 people getting $50 each. That's a lot of money.
So
Right now, go do it. Make the deposit, download the app. If you don't know how it works, if you're the first time viewer, very simple. You go to the App Store, you go to Android, and you download the Celsius app, you do the KYC, you deposit $500 worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything else, or stable coins, and you're in the program automatically if you're one of the first 50.
you have to enter promo code first50 in your profile
Right,
before making the deposit.
Again, if you go to your profile, you have to enter the code, so you go back to the menu, profile, and right here, enter promo code, right? And you can basically enter it right there, and you will be part of the program.
All right. From Twitter, will we be able to borrow by using...
And if you're nice to Kristen, she'll send you Celsius.
You have to be very nice to Kristen.
Very nice. A Celsius in blockchain we trust coin that you can flip and see if you heads or tails. If you're lucky like me, you know. Yes.
From Twitter,
Dad jokes.
will we be able to borrow by using all our crypto as collateral counted together?
Yes, so we are working on multi-asset. You'll be able to do all kind of magical stuff. Again, we're just building all that stuff up. You'll be able to buy, you'll be able to borrow against stuff, you'll be able to borrow one against another, you'll be able to use multiple assets for loans. A lot of great stuff coming. And just need to finish it and deploy it. Again, for us, security is number one. So when we have to make sure we test everything, and again, thanks for the over 200 people who beta tested with us, our last version. Amazing work. Thank you very much. If Kristen didn't send you a t-shirt, you deserve it. So we will make sure that Kristen doesn't have a weekend and she'll just send t-shirts all day
I have a
long.
part-time job at the post office.
Now we have if you want to be an intern, if you're in New York or New Jersey, you want to come help us out. If you're looking for an internship, come help us. And we have a Hoboken office, we have a New York office, and we're looking for people to help us with all this hard work of wearing Celsius shirts and unbanking people and stuff like that. So,
also from Twitter, will users be able to add a second person to their account? They want a joint account with their wife.
yes, a little more complicated right now. The easiest thing to do is just to open a second app, use their KYC. But we have corporate accounts already. So if you go to ours, you can onboard as a corporate user, and then you have all kind of other things you can do already. But yes, we're going to enable more things in the app. But our focus right now is just delivering more for the users, right? So then we can put all the bells and whistles. When we deliver more, we can be profitable. Then we can hire more people. We can do better. But it all comes down to how many people we have in our community. So we need to get to about 100,000 users to be profitable. We're at 68,000. We doubled in the last few months, right? I mean, doing amazing. I love it. I mean, you guys are just amazing. Better than our projections, right? I mean, just killing it. 40,000 Bitcoins, right? So deposited. So just keep bringing your friend, educating them, share our videos. We have amazing content, right? We explain everything in detail on Medium and so on and so on. You'll find links to all of that on our website under media, right? Media? Or content?
Medium and on media, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll see a lot of the articles there. We'll also link it right in the text. So as you read, you'll be able to click through and read about Cell Token or about Cell Pay or about how all the promos work and everything else. So, and just distribute it. Just let's educate newbies. That's the hardest job, is to bring the new guys who don't trust us, who think they know everything. They think Wall Street, the stock market will just keep going up forever. Gravity doesn't apply. I've seen that 4 or 5 times in my career. 2008 and 2000 and 1992 and so on, right? So listen, sooner or later the music stops and there's not enough chairs for even half of all these people, okay? So make sure you have a chair for yourself, reserving a chair for yourself. Have a non-correlated asset in your portfolio. Not financial advice, just telling you what I'm doing.
Don't you expect the banks to attempt to destroy you with all
They
of
already
your...
are. You want to see the arrows in my back? The banks hate me, okay? I say bad things about banks every day for a good reason, because they steal from all of us, okay? They're thieves, professional thieves with the license. They have a license to steal, you know? Look, Ray Dalio today or yesterday on public television said that cash is trash, meaning the US dollar is trash. Okay, this is the most sophisticated investor in the world, managing $120 billion or more. Okay, telling you that cash and cash assets, anything that is dollar denominated, is trash, right? So what are you doing about it? How much of your net worth is in a non-correlated asset? Okay? At any time, 5 to 10% of your assets should be in a non-US dollar, non-correlated asset. Okay, the best thing for that is Bitcoin.
I think a great question to end on is a recent one from Twitter. What are your top 3 priorities for the whole of 2020? So 3.
2020 top priorities. So we want to get to $1 billion under management, right? We want to hit that mark. We should be able to get there in the second half of the year. We want to see new highs for Bitcoin. We're going to help that happen. So part of what we're doing is making sure that, for example, when people need to sell Bitcoin because they need dollars, instead of selling them, they can borrow against it. That puts less sell pressure on Bitcoin. It's good for the community. Lending dollars against Bitcoin helps the price of Bitcoin, right? So all these services, no matter how you look at them, you will see that they're all supporting higher prices for Bitcoin, right? So we have 25 assets. We don't vote for this one or another. Anything that yields is in the wallet. We're going to be adding more, so we probably end the year maybe with 35 assets, gold, other things that we think are attractive for you, so you can choose and put portfolios together and things like that. We're going to have, you'll be able to buy, sell in the app. You'll be able to buy coins in the app. You'll be able to do many, many other things. So these are all the kind of like the blinders that we have on, more depositors, more users, more loans, more profitability, and pay record interest to our users. These are our goals. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to retweet or send this. The video will be available on YouTube as well. Like our channel, follow us, and let's make the world a better place, right? Do good and then do well. Thank you, and may this be an amazing 2020. Thank you. All right. Managed to stay out of trouble.